so we get phone calls a lot about my furnace is blowing, but nothing is happening. There's no heat. I'm just getting cold air. There are a few things that immediately come to mind is how can that be possible? Because there's safety features inside a furnace to prevent the furnace from igniting if the gas isn't coming through properly. If the igniter isn't operating properly or the flame sensor needs to be cleaned, it shuts down the ignition process. But the question is, it's blowing air and it's cold air. What's the problem? So something that we check very first of all, which seems so silly, I had an old stereo in my car that had an amp, and I knew how to check the fuses. Well, the same is true on a furnace. So if your fuse is blown on the control board, that will allow your furnace the motor to keep running, but no gas process will be taking place. So that's probably the first thing that we check, or we can tell a homeowner, because you can go buy a fuse at a gas station, Walmart, what are those things called? Where you get your car parts, huh? Yeah, an auto store. So they sell them anywhere. So finding the fuse itself, it's usually on the control board itself. You don't need any tools to pull it out. And something I did when I was younger is you can hold it up and make sure it isn't burnt through. It means it's still good. But if it's burnt, replace it. Super easy to do. Make sure you get the same size that was originally in there. But before you do that, you should turn the furnace off at the disconnect. So you'll see something that looks like a light switch on the outside of the furnace. Make sure to shut it off. It's shutting off all power to the system so you don't hurt yourself or anybody else. And then you can just plug this back in. See, plug it back in. You flip the disconnect back on. Let it try and fire up. So maybe turn the thermostat up a few degrees to start that process going a little sooner. But that's generally why we'll get a furnace blowing air and nothing else. There could be a couple of other issues. You might actually have your thermostat to the fan on position and turned off heating or cooling and not realize it. And it's just your fans blowing, and you've told your thermostat you don't need a furnace or air conditioner. So check those things before you call. But we'd love to come out and help you, but we also don't mind helping out over the phone either. So, okay.